Have you ever felt like your mind is a runaway train, speeding through a landscape of worries, anxieties, and endless to-do lists? You try to pull the brakes, to find a moment of quiet, but the train just keeps going, faster and faster. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know you're not alone. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention, pulling us in a million different directions. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, stressed, and like we've lost control. But what if I told you that the key to reclaiming your peace, your happiness, and your sense of control isn't found outside of you, but right inside your own mind? Welcome to our journey into the art of inner peace. Today, we're not talking about escaping the world or ignoring our problems. We're talking about something much more powerful: learning to control our minds. This isn't about becoming an emotionless robot. It's about becoming the calm, confident captain of your own ship, navigating the stormy seas of life without being capsized by every wave. The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus said it best: we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. That choice, that power, resides in our ability to manage our thoughts and emotions. So, let's start with the big one: emotions. Think about the last time you felt really stressed. Maybe it was a looming deadline at work, a difficult conversation with a loved one, or just the weight of daily responsibilities. Your heart probably started racing, your shoulders tensed up, and your mind was flooded with negative what-if scenarios. This is the classic stress response. It's a natural, evolutionary mechanism designed to protect us from danger. The problem is, in our modern world, the dangers are often not a saber-toothed tiger, but an overflowing inbox. Our bodies react the same way, flooding us with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. When this happens constantly, it takes a toll on our physical and mental health, leading to burnout, anxiety, and a feeling of perpetual unhappiness. Controlling our emotions is the first crucial step to breaking this cycle. It's about learning to respond, not just react. A reaction is automatic, instinctive, like pulling your hand away from a hot stove. A response, on the other hand, is conscious and considered. It's the space between the stimulus, that stressful email, and your reaction. By widening that space, even by a split second, you give yourself the power to choose. Instead of immediately spiraling into panic, you can take a breath and decide on a more constructive course of action. This single skill can dramatically reduce the amount of stress and negativity you experience. It's not about suppressing your feelings. It's about acknowledging them without letting them hijack your entire being. It's the difference between being in a storm and being the storm. How do we create that space? How do we learn to respond instead of react? This is where the beautiful practice of mindfulness comes in. Now, you might have heard this word thrown around a lot, and maybe it sounds a bit vague or mystical. But at its core, mindfulness is incredibly simple and practical. It's the practice of paying attention to the present moment, on purpose, and without judgment. Think of it as a workout for your brain. Just like you lift weights to strengthen your muscles, you practice mindfulness to strengthen your ability to focus and stay present. One of the most powerful mindfulness techniques is learning to observe your thoughts not judgmentally. Our minds are thought-generating machines. They produce thousands of thoughts every single day, and many of them are random, repetitive, or just plain unhelpful. We often make the mistake of believing every single thought that pops into our heads. We identify with them, we get tangled up in them, and we let them dictate our feelings and actions. If a thought like "I'm going to fail this presentation" appears, we immediately feel fear and anxiety. We treat the thought as an absolute truth. Mindfulness teaches us a different way. It invites us to take a step back and simply observe our thoughts as they arise, without getting caught up in their drama. Imagine you're sitting on the bank of a river. The thoughts are like leaves floating by on the water. You notice a leaf, you see its shape and color, and then you watch it float on downstream. You don't jump into the river to grab it. You don't try to analyze where it came from or where it's going. You just watch it pass. This is what it means to observe your thoughts non-judgmentally. Let's try a little exercise right now. Just for a moment, close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Take a slow, deep breath in, and out. Now, just sit and notice what thoughts come into your mind. Maybe it's "what am I having for dinner?" or "I forgot to send that email," or "this is weird." Whatever it is, just notice it. Don't push it away. Don't cling to it. Just acknowledge its presence, like you'd nod to a stranger passing on the street. "Ah, there's a thought about dinner," and then let it go. See if another thought comes to take its place. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. You are the sky, and the thoughts are just clouds passing through. Some days are cloudy, some are clear, but the sky, your core awareness, is always there, vast and unchanging. This practice of acknowledging thoughts without judgment is a game changer. When you stop fighting with your mind, an incredible thing happens. It starts to quiet down. When you stop reacting to every negative thought, you rob it of its power over you. A thought is just a mental event. It's a flicker of energy in your brain. It only has the power you give it. By practicing this detached observation, you're not ignoring your problems. In fact, you're doing the opposite. You're seeing them with greater clarity, without the fog of emotional reactivity. You can look at a challenge and think, okay, this is the situation. What's the most effective way to deal with it? Instead of, oh no, this is a catastrophe, I can't handle it. To take this a step further, let's go back to our wave analogy. Imagine you're standing on a beach, watching the ocean. Your thoughts and emotions are like the waves. Some are small, gentle ripples. Others are huge, crashing breakers that seem to threaten to pull you under. Our usual instinct when a big, scary wave of anger or sadness comes is to either fight it, trying to push it back, or to run from it, trying to distract ourselves. But what happens when you try to push back a wave? You get knocked over. What happens when you run? It eventually catches up to you. Mindfulness offers a third option: learning to surf. A surfer doesn't try to stop the wave. A surfer learns its rhythm, its power, and uses that energy to ride it. When you practice observing your thoughts and feelings as waves, you start to see their true nature. They arise, they crest, and then they dissolve back into the ocean. No single thought, no single feeling is permanent. They come and they go. When you feel a surge of anxiety, instead of panicking, you can say to yourself, okay, this is a wave of anxiety. I feel it in my chest. My heart is beating faster. It feels intense, but I know it's just a wave. It will pass. You ride it. You stay present with the physical sensations without adding a story to it, without judging it as bad or wrong. You just observe it until it naturally subsides. This isn't easy at first. Your mind will want to get involved, to analyze the wave, to figure out why it's there. Why am I so anxious? It must be because of that meeting tomorrow. What if I mess it up? Everyone will think I'm incompetent. And just like that, you're no longer surfing. You're caught in the undertow. The key is to gently and repeatedly bring your attention back to the simple act of observing. Every time you notice you've been swept away by a story, that's a moment of victory. That's a moment of mindfulness. You just gently guide your awareness back to the sensation of the wave itself, coming and going. The more you practice this, the more you realize that you are the calm, deep ocean beneath the waves. The surface can be turbulent and chaotic, but your essential nature, your core consciousness, is deep, still, and peaceful. By learning to control your mind, not by forcing it, but by understanding it and working with it too, tap into that deep well of peace that is always available to you, no matter what's happening on the surface. You become less reactive, more resilient, and fundamentally happier, because your happiness is no longer dependent on the external weather of your life. It comes from the unshakable peace within. So, I invite you to start today. Start small. Just take 1 minute to sit and watch your thoughts like clouds in the sky or waves in the ocean. Don't try to do it perfectly. The goal isn't to have an empty mind. It's to notice when your mind is full without judging it. This simple act is the first step on the path to mastering the art of inner peace, and it's a journey that will transform your entire life. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content on finding calm and happiness in our busy world. I'd love to hear about your own experiences in the comments below. Until next time, be well and be present.